Okay, time to resume. First things first, Beer Force says, ask him if he wanted children when given the chance. When I was at his house, he asked me if I wanted children. I don't know if if the subject will be coming up again here, but I'll keep that in mind. And for the record, when he asked me, I said yes. Before says 24 hours later and there's still fireworks going off. People must be glad to see the end of 2021. Or people just like shooting fireworks because they have plenty of them. Actually, I tell you what. Today is New Year's Day, but that doesn't mean people aren't celebrating today. Instead of celebrating last night, my family decided to celebrate today because today is Saturday. So there's always that possibility that they wanted to wait until the weekend. Other than that, people don't necessarily need an excuse to shoot fireworks. Sometimes they'll just shoot them in the general proximity of a holiday. Certainly will around here. Anyway, we have met up with Remy once again. Hello, Erika. Is there any particular reason why you wanted to meet me here? I enjoyed Tatsu Park is all. Have you been here before? A few times. I see. Well, what do you think of it? Idyllic? I don't know about romantic. I'm not saying that it's nothing special because this place is actually kind of nice. It's got pink trees. I can't complain about pink trees. So, it's pretty idyllic. It is. I like it a lot here. You mentioned you wanted to talk to me about something. Yes, well, about that. I just have a lot on my mind, and I felt like I needed to tell someone. I wouldn't burden you if I had anyone else to talk to, but the simple fact is that I don't. Hey, you can talk to me, Remy. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not a problem. What's on your mind? I don't even know where to begin. Do you ever feel like there is an emptiness inside you? That every day is the same joyless routine that you wish you could escape, but you can't? Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some joy, but it's pretty routine. I see. Is this about Emira again? I'm really wondering if I should have gone into the park to meet up with Emira on this run. Well, it's not just about her, but working with her doesn't make things any easier. To think that just a few years ago, I was the happiest I could have been, and now I have nothing but my miserable life. Aww. What happened? It's a long story. We have a lot of time. Okay, well... A few years ago, I worked in the public sector. I mean, I still do, but my position was a different one. I didn't work under a minister back then. I was part of a committee tasked with providing independent and factually backed opinions on community topics. It was supposed to help not only politicians, but also the general populace. Free from outside interference, we did our own fact-checking based on research and publicity, and publicly reported our findings. Our individual members didn't always agree, but we made sure the end results were based on verifiable facts. In this way, we offered a variety of comprehensive opinions on difficult topics. We found the truth and allowed people and politicians to make up their minds from there. Our work was a key influence in the community, and because the conclusions of each individual member were often very different, it could never be said that we were biased. It was during one such assignment that I met a certain person named Amelia. Hold on a sec, I want to check if I've ever wrote that name down. No, but it did sound familiar. And the Calico Kid Raptor that Adine takes care of is Emily. Starting with an A. So the two names share the first four letters. I wonder if there's a relation. My task was to determine the viability of several projects, each competing for a research grant from our council. Amelia was a member of one of the scientific teams vying for a grant. She was an inventor, and her group was looking for ways to streamline hospital processes and tests by utilizing new technology. The first time I saw her was when our committee watched her group's pitch. One of the things we had to do was determine whether their claims and goals were realistic. In our case, they were. Ultimately, they didn't get the grant, but when she recognized me in a restaurant a while later, we started talking. She was very smart, and I admired her spirit. She just wanted to help people with her talents, and in this way, she reminded me a lot of myself. We kept seeing one another, and we grew close. Before long, we were dating. It felt so right. I can only assume that this is the other dragon in the photo, whose photos he combined with to make a hypothetical photo of a child. I thought our relationship was about to become very serious, but then she informed me that a research group had applied for another grant. Of course, that complicated things. My committee was once again tasked with judging the viability of the different projects, and while I intended to stay impartial on the matter, she would probably be seen as an influence due to our relationship. With these concerns in mind, we decided to not meet again until the grant winner was determined. We hadn't expected her group to get it, but in the end, they did. We didn't want to end our relationship over something like that, but if word got out that we were together during the decision-making period, it would have put both our jobs in jeopardy. In the end, we decided to wait and made a commitment. 6 months after the grant was given to her team, we would return to one another and make our relationship public. That much time would have ensured that it wouldn't be an issue. We even made plans to move in together when that time came. But we never got that far. I only know the rest of what happened from various reports, but apparently Amelia got sick. Nothing serious, mind you. She continued working from home as best as she could. The project was already behind schedule, and she didn't want to endanger it. People were critical and very curious about what the project would amount to. and she didn't want to be responsible for its failure if she took some days off to recuperate. So, every day, she continued working on the project until the dead of night. One late evening, she went out to pick up her medication, in addition to something to help her stay awake. But she was sick and overworked. The combination of the prescription's side effects and the supplements caused her to collapse. No one was around to see her fall. When she was found the next day, she was covered by a blanket of fresh snow. It was too late. She froze to death during the cold winter night. If someone was with her, this would not have happened. But she died out there, all alone. All because we kept our relationship a secret. We had plans to move in together. We even talked about having our own small family. Some things are just not meant to be, it seems. If I had to identify the moment life started going downhill, losing Amelia would be it. My heart was ripped out in that moment, and now only emptiness remains. It's like a wound that never closes. Maybe you saw those pictures in my apartment. Even my home is a reminder of her. We were going to move into that apartment together. And this tie I'm wearing, I got it from her as well. When she gave it to me, she said that it was red like her scales. As long as I wore it, she would be with me in a way. For so long, I've been holding onto her with all my might. I wish I could stop, because I know it's killing me, but I've been doing it for so long that I don't think I can. Honestly, I'm conflicted. I feel like it's important to hold on to her. But when it's killing you on the inside like that, don't necessarily know that I would have any advice for a situation like this. Yet in some way, holding on to Amelia has helped me. When I look back on all the happy memories we made, Emira's bullying hurts a little less, if only because those memories hurt so much more. And I would love my job if it wasn't for Emira. During one of my runs, I hung out with Emira in the park, and have the option to say that it's not very nice to make fun of Remy. But I didn't choose it. I wonder if I should reconsider this run. And maybe do a Remy run in which I confront Emira. I didn't go to the park on this run because I was focused on, one, going to see Remy at the library as part of the investigation, and two, going to the grocery store to see Vera. It's a constant struggle, a battle I have to fight every day. Each of her words slices through me, creating new wounds on top of others that never closed. Some days, I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't know how much longer I can. Well, at the very least, Remy is one of the few dragons who is not dead at the end of the adventure. Oh, he's crying! I'm not sure if there is anything that can fill the void. Oh, sure enough, here's this option. Because I looked at the photos. Oh, Buford says he can die, but only if you are mean to him. That makes sense. Oh, gosh. Wouldn't want to do that. I remember you said that you always wanted children. Out of curiosity. Status. Yep, there's the photo situation right there. Yes. It's not exactly the same thing, but I heard that the orphanage is always looking for more volunteers. You could help take care of those children. Oh! Okay, so when that message popped up, when the option popped up, it had the photo. Which, now that I think about it, was acquired. Or did it? Hold on a sec. Let me look at my status again. Okay, I had this icon appear when I met Emily. And this exclamation mark is when I followed Vera. And the option given about children had both of these icons. So yeah, both of these are required in order to get to this option. You could help take care of those children. Is that so? Okay, if both of those are required in order to get to Remy's good ending, I think I'll stick with getting Remy's good ending on this run then. I mean, a part of me would certainly like to see if things could be improved if I called Emira out for making fun of Remy's ears, but... well, as long as we're already on track for getting Remy's good ending, we'll stick with it. Anyway, what was I saying? Could help take care of those children, right, at the orphanage. Is that so? Yeah. The orphanage is notoriously understaffed. The children don't really have anyone else, so each volunteer is a godsend. Losing both parents at such a young age must be horrible. I can't even imagine what that must be like. You should talk to Adine about volunteering. She knows a lot more about it than I do. Adine? I don't want to talk to her. Why not? She used to be my friend. Well, she was more Amelia's friend than mine. Why can't you talk to her? I don't know. I don't want to face her. Whenever I see her, it's another reminder of what I lost. Besides, I don't think she wants to talk to me either. I think if you wanted to volunteer, she'd gladly accept the help. Besides, I saw that she tried to talk to you the other day. You saw that? I guess she did try to talk to me, but it was only because she wanted something. I don't think that was the only reason. Maybe she wanted to reconnect with you. If she wanted to avoid you, she could have asked someone else at the library for help, but she chose you. I'm not sure about that. Maybe she actually feels the same way you do, and the map helped her muster up the courage to face you again. If you want to change something, Remy, you have to take action. What's the worst that could happen if you talk to her? I suppose you have a point. I'll think about it. Thank you, Erika. Getting all that off my chest already helped a lot. No problem, Remy. Anything else on your mind? Well, there was the whole thing about Anna. Yeah, you mentioned that last time. Are you still worried about what she was working on? I just saw him at his house, and I don't remember a conversation about Anna. Maybe it was in the previous stream. Not as much. I guess whatever she was doing is over now, but who knows what went on in her lab. I imagine we'll hear all about it once the police search it in her apartment. There's definitely the possibility of a lot of alternate dialogue, depending on who all you've seen during each run and who's still alive and that sort of thing, places you visited. I imagine if I was also hanging with Anna and ensuring that Anna survived, this part of the conversation would be different. I'm definitely not going to be able to find all the different dialogue differences in the game. My goal is simply to get all the good endings, along with the best ending, as well as getting all the dragon characters on the title screen, which actually is not that simple. So Buford says, be sure to take the eggs later for a bonus scene. I'll definitely do that. Anyway, I guess there's not much use thinking about it, especially now that she's out of the picture. In the end, I can't help but feel a little sorry for her, too. With her condition, I imagine that the Ministry's disapproval must have been a tough pill to swallow. What are you talking about? She had cancer. Well, you're gonna want to keep that in mind when we do the Anna run. I see. That kind of diagnosis would drive some people crazy. Maybe that's what it did to her. Having to live with that knowledge must have been difficult. You heard about Anna's cancer. And that gave me one of those quest inventory items. So I assume that this is going to be required for Anna's good ending. I'm also going to assume that this little thing here is going to remain with me in future runs, so I won't necessarily have to do a Remy run again in order to get Anna's good ending. Before says that I've gotten all the keys now? I would have assumed that this pile of items would have gone all the way up to the top of the screen or something. Remy paused and gave me an embarrassed smile. Quite a bit of time has passed since you arrived, and you've barely been able to speak. I've been talking a lot. No, believe me, I've been talking plenty as well, and gosh, my voice is not doing a good job surviving these streams. I don't mind. There must be a lot on your mind, too. Yeah. Since I work with Emira, I know all the details surrounding you and Reza. Not many do. Many rumors are going around town. All this time, you've been working with our police? Yeah. And now you're hunting the person who was supposed to be your partner. That must be really hard for you. I came here because I wanted to do the right thing. Nothing about that has changed. What kind of person is Reza anyway? The kind that stops at nothing to achieve what he believes in. I can see that. We've already witnessed just how far he will go. What do you think about him? Honestly, I'm not sure. Back home, this relentless quality of his was admired, but I certainly don't condone his actions. Given what I know about him, I think he must have a reason, as weird and twisted as it may be. And what about you? I have my own principles. I see. How is your hunt for Reza going, anyway? Not too great. We don't have any strong leads or any idea of his whereabouts. In the end, we're just following his trail of murder and destruction. People are getting afraid. The rumors are starting to take effect. I thought Emira was going to give a press conference to warn the public. That didn't happen. She feared the potential backlash if people knew about Reza while you were still here, so for the time being, he has been declared as a missing person. The public has been informed that if someone sees him, they are to call the police immediately. They were told he may be suffering from an affliction that makes him behave erratically. Well, considering that such an affliction actually exists in this timeline, that could probably be seen as pretty believable. But some people are putting two and two together. No one has seen Reza for a while, even before he was officially declared missing. It's easy to line up the timelines and see that the murders started happening shortly after he vanished. What we know about the break-ins and thefts is also damning. The objects stolen all point toward Reza. I'm not sure how much longer they can keep this a secret. How do you think the public will react, considering that I am still staying here? I don't know. We can't really predict the public opinion, but you can bet there will be critical voices. Well, if there's anything I'm glad for, is that the public has not turned on me during these adventures. So I don't have to worry about that. I've already had to play a game where everybody turned against me once before, and that was not very fun. I'm not sure how I could convince everyone that I'm not involved with Reza's plans. Well, you do have the council's support. If Emira voiced that you were on our side, it wouldn't be so bad if the public found out. Yeah, but she also made it clear that she believes most people won't have the same opinion. She won't support me publicly if their vote is against me. That is true. Emira plays the political game a lot. She aligns with the popular opinion so people will like her. I wish more politicians did that. That's a good tactic. Although, in this case, tactic would be not in the good of her heart, but as a tactic. So let me think here. How do I want to answer this? Well, I was about to say it's a good tactic. I probably will continue to say it's a good tactic. If you're playing that game, I guess so. Does the public know about the portal's current state? No. If it can be fixed, it wouldn't be worth mentioning. And if they can't fix it, they aren't going to announce it before they know how to deal with the current situation. Compared to Reza, it's not really a problem. It might become one pretty soon. If word gets out and I'm suddenly his accomplice, what would happen to me? How would you even deal with Reza if you caught him? I'm not sure. I suppose we would have to work something out between our legal system and whatever humanity has to say on the matter. Yeah, they're kind of not gonna have the opportunity to get involved. And if the portal is done for, what then? Then humanity would be out of the picture for any legal proceedings. Reza would likely be held until contact has been re-established, or just serve his sentence here. I see. How do your jails work here anyway? Well, if a crime has been committed and proven without a doubt, a jail sentence can be the consequence. Our delinquents live in an area separate from the rest of society, monitored at all hours of the day. They receive the help they need, and efforts are taken to make them realize their wrongdoings and integrate them back into our community. Life isn't that much different there than it is here. The spaces are more cramped for sure, but mostly it is just a very controlled environment. That's not much of a punishment. It is a consequence, not necessarily a punishment. Our society at large benefits more from people who are rehabilitated, and if mental issues are the cause, those can at least be found and addressed. That sounds like how it used to be back home. These days, in our city, you get 3 strikes. What does that mean? 3 infractions of our rules, and you get thrown out of the city. If someone is a drain on our limited resources, we won't support them. While I can understand why you needed to incorporate such a policy, the finality of it makes me a bit uneasy. It has worked so far, and it's not as if the outside is completely unkind. Someone expelled from the city might find a different community, or join one of the mobile groups. The situation inside our city-state is still much better than the outside, though. They're very strict with those allowed to live there. It is a privilege. Anyone or anything that threatens the inside society or the lives of this people is removed very quickly. How would a murderer like Reza be dealt with? An eye for an eye? No, we don't do that. But murder is a crime so heinous that immediate expulsion is the consequence, regardless of prior infractions. I see. What do the citizens think about this system? Some agree with the methods, some don't. But as long as it works, people won't complain. Weeding out undesirable elements is what keeps their standard of living intact. I guess that means politics don't play a big role where you come from. No, they won't change a working system. It varies here, but I'm so tired of Emira and her games. As I work with her, I can see exactly how she plays the public. I know every council member has their own approach, but everything she does is so tailored towards the public's expectations. For her, it's just a popularity contest. You know what? That gives me an idea. Really? What is it? The human visit and all of the associated consequences are her responsibility, right? Yes. For her, the situation with Reza must be utterly horrifying. She keeps talking about preventing public backlash, but she's really just trying to protect herself. And that sounds accurate. Maybe we can use that to our advantage. How? She can't send me back to my world right now. That makes me the only one here with knowledge of Reza and humans in general. That's true. If I speak from this point of authority, we should have a much easier time convincing her of anything we want. You couldn't convince her to let you stay in our world, though. Yes, but I was trying to use reason and plead with her. I didn't take into account her fear of public backlash. I think we can manipulate this fear of hers and use it to our advantage. If there were consequences to fear from Reza, me, or the rest of humanity, and those consequences would make her look bad to the public, that would be reason for her to reconsider any action, right? I suppose so. But what situation could this apply to? She nearly sent me back through the portal. If she tries anything again, at least we have something we can use against her. I think I see where you're coming from. Reza is still a mystery to me, though. All things considered, wouldn't it be beneficial for him to just stay here? No offense, but even our prisons offer a better standard of living than your city. As such, couldn't that be a reason for him to have vandalized the portal? I don't think so. You're right, your world is in much better shape than ours, but even if Reza could stay here, he wouldn't. He came here for the same reason I did, to help our people. He has a very pronounced sense of duty to humanity, and I believed in him when he stepped through the portal. He proclaimed that he would do everything he could. When I met him again in this world, I have the impression that he wanted to get our mission over with as soon as possible so he could return to our world with aid. That's going to be difficult with the portal out of order. The person who did it probably didn't realize it wasn't a very good idea. This might make Reza even more desperate. Who knows what he will do next? I do! And if anything happens, I can't leave either. If the portal is gone for good, I suppose you'd have to stay here. What do you think about that? Honestly, I'd love living here. Everything I've heard about this place is so wonderful compared to back home. That's good to hear. I certainly wouldn't mind if you stuck around. Only now do I realize that everything I told you earlier must seem so petty compared to the struggles you face. I mean, we all have our own struggles. What Remy said is definitely something that comes to my mind on occasion, and I know it comes on other people's mind as well. My problems are bad, but I look at somebody else's problems, and they're, like, even worse, and it makes my problems feel inconsequential, almost. It definitely takes a bit of effort to remember that my problems matter too. I suppose that's true. I can't even imagine what life must be like where you are from. Back home, I was just trying to survive and help others do the same. That hasn't changed. I'm almost afraid of going back to the city, though. Times are so rough. Yeah, even if I didn't have to go back, I would. I can't just let them down like that, you know? I have to try and do what I can. That's why I came here. I wish I could be that strong. Who says you can't? I don't know. You told me about your old job. Yeah, I miss those days. What about it? It's not exactly the same as saving a city, but you were helping people, right? That's true. Maybe once your term with Emera is over, you could do something like that again. I really wish I could. I just realized something. What is it? I was trying to figure out why you wanted to hang out with me so often. What are you talking about? Since Amelia died, I've been alone. It's been years. I don't even have anyone I could consider a friend. When you came to our world and started to spend time with me, I thought maybe things were about to change. That maybe I'd found a friend. But you're not that different. You make fun of me and belittle me just like everyone else. Even after everything I told you about myself. You don't care about me, do you? Why the heck? Where does this come from? If I was just your entertainment, that's alright. That's what people do to me. They watch and laugh, in secret or otherwise. Are you doing that thing that I know some people do, where you feel paranoid, like somebody hates you even if they don't? Stop it. Stop doing that. I'm beginning to realize that maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's me. Goodbye, Erika. Wait, hold on a sec, what? What happened? What'd I do wrong? Nope, nope. Backing up. I need to figure out what I'm did wrong here. I'd love living here. Before says, maybe the Emera comment. I did agree with Emera about Remy's ears. That one point that I talked to her. Let me try. Don't say that. Why not? It's not how it works. It's like saying a person can't be happy because someone else might be happier than them. Don't downplay your own suffering like that. That kind of thinking only makes it worse. Thanks, Erika. Can't even imagine what life must be like. Let's see. I wish I could be that strong. I still feel like this is the best option here. No. Oh, crap. My Remy's run is a bust. Well, I suppose... I could switch over to making this into... Oh, I suppose I could try that, yeah. Say Emera is dishonest. That's very dishonest. It is, but that's who she is. Portal... Poke know about the state of the portal. I'd love living here. Still gonna go with we all have our own struggles. Who says you can't? Okay, no, we're back on track. Okay, do you even like me? There must be a reason why you put up with me for this long. What are you talking about? You consider me a friend? Or maybe more. And I'm given an option that I was not given before, so yeah. I did need to say that Emera is dishonest. Now, what do I want to say from here? I don't know. I like you as friend, or more than just a friend. Keepa says, got to go all the way. Got to marry the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh gosh, he really is, isn't he? Well, I saved just now just in case, but I like you as a friend. Okay, good. That makes me really happy to hear. I haven't had a friend in a very long time. Boy, is it a good thing that my last save was at the Emera question. I think I should get going now. Thanks for hearing me out, Erika. Likewise. Oh gosh. Was that a scary moment? Let's go ahead and save now that we are safe. And I got 10 minutes left of stream time. Whatever is about to come up is going to take way longer than 10 minutes, I'm sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream right here. If you've enjoyed today's stream, feel free to give me a follow. I stream this every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Next time, I'm not really sure what I'll do. I could see a Dean again. We don't yet have the option of seeing Vera, but maybe I'd have that opportunity to see Vera after seeing her at the orphanage. My hope here is if I do go see a Dean again and give her the blueprint, that does not put me in a state where she leaves me a message, but I can't do the message thing because I'm doing the Remy run and I also need to see Vera. So, we'll see what happens.